Many intriguing questions remained after Alan Wake 2, the final draft's closing moments. Alan Wake? Who is he now? Does he still possess the Dark Presence's power? Are worlds still changed by his words? The big DLC edition Alan Wake 2, Night Springs, which comes out after this chapter, does not provide an answer to any of these queries in typical Remedy Entertainment fashion. It really just makes everything worse. One may even argue that it's better off for it. 3 distinct episodes featuring ancillary characters from the Alan Wake universe make up Night Springs. Interestingly, each episode takes place in Night Springs, a fictionalized version of Alan Wake's environment, rather than in the same universe or location as the game. What makes things more complicated is that Alan Wake is the author of these episodes. According to Alan Wake's canon, authors can alter the course of the universe by incorporating events into their works. In Alan Wake, he first acquired this power and struggled to manage it for a considerable amount of time. It is established in the first game that Alan wrote for the TV series Night Springs before entering Cauldron Lake. However, it's also hinted that Alan might already possess this ability, meaning that his Night Springs writings might be endowed with the ability to change reality, or at the very least, offer a glimpse into real parallel realities. You don't necessarily need to know the extensive background information that makes Night Springs become its own DLC chapter in Alan Wake 2, but doing so helps improve the experience and creates a narrative thread connecting each chapter, which covers a different topic. The first chapter, which centers on Alan Wake enthusiast waitress Rose, is undoubtedly the best of these chapters and has the closest connections to the plot of Alan Wake 2. In this little action clip, Rose is seen in a romanticized light as she works as a waitress at Knight's Diner. In this chapter, Rose is the curator of her own life. Her day is viewed through a literal rose-colored glass. Clients that meet her are incredibly cordial and complimentary, and they all adore her for her idealized persona, the loyal admirer of Alan Wake who will stop at nothing to please her author. Rose must go out to find Wake after he pleads for her assistance through a talking fish statue, all the while battling the forces of his wicked brother. The chapter is a kind of love letter to fandom in many ways. In a strange, amazing duel that wraps up the entire chapter, it parodies fanfiction and lovingly pokes fun at the concept of obsession. It can also be considered as a clear reference to Alan Wake 2 as Rose created it and is the chapter's shotgun-wielding hero. Rose's reasons for assisting Alan throughout the game are emphasized and expanded upon, showcasing the depth of her love and character. Instead of demeaning her for her devotion, it examines how fandom can empower and brave people who are in need of direction. Despite being brief, the story packs a lot of power and feels well-rounded and executed nicely. The second chapter of Alan Wake 2, Night Springs, North Star, is merely a slight letdown due to its bizarre, suspenseful conclusion and the many unanswered issues it raises. The main character of Control, Jessie Faden, makes a comeback in this chapter. She goes into Coffee World in search of her estranged brother, who appears to have vanished at the hands of a cult. The smallest chapter in the Night Springs series, it mostly concentrates on puzzle gameplay and exploration. Although Jessie rarely gets a chance to shine as her own hero and occasionally gets pushed to the sidelines, there are some really spectacular tricks and a really cool stealth portion in here. Instead, she serves as a stand-in with minimal responsibility until a late episode revelation that, provided Control 2 doesn't pull apart some of its links, should seem extremely momentous. If Jessie's storyline turns out to be a true other universe story with no consequences for the future, then North Star is definitely an odd side story. Even though it is a strange chapter, Timebreaker, the last one in Alan Wake 2, Night Springs is a far more powerful addition to the canon of Alan Wake, and seems to have consequences not only for this realm but also for the universes of Control and Quantum Break. Actor Shawn Ashmore plays a fictionalized version of himself, collaborating with Poison Pill Entertainment director Sam Lake on a new multimedia video game series, despite the fact that it first looks to be a follow-up to Sheriff Timebreaker. As they joke about on stage, they discuss Ashmore's previous stint as a superhero. All of this is obviously a front for something far more sinister and profound, as Ashmore becomes entangled in a multiverse story in which his alters are being hunted down and killed by an eerie, evil entity in every reality. Upon her arrival, Jessie Faden appears to warn of impending gloom and makes a reference to Quantum Break. Notably, this chapter also adds to the legend surrounding Mr. Door and provides some background information that could be important for the Remedy-connected universe's future. This extended episode has some very witty hints, and the last stanza is particularly inventive. Players should definitely experience it for themselves. With Timebreaker, Remedy has surpassed itself by experimenting with novel media and telling captivating stories that leave you speechless. Timebreaker is a stunning, colorful experience that serves as a capstone to the Night Springs DLC edition. As previously noted, despite the small hands connecting the chapter's subject matter, there isn't much of a narrative connection between them all. Nevertheless, Night Springs is a wonderful continuation of Alan Wake 2 and its meta-narrative. Night Springs delves deeply into Remedy's storytelling style and the RCU. Although Alan Wake is a supporting role, it doesn't really important. To further explore its surreal and constantly evolving universe, Remedy has created 3 distinct pieces of art that are full of intriguing concepts and intriguing possibilities. Even though each chapter is extremely brief and leaves the reader wanting more, Night Springs offers a powerful introduction to Alan Wake 2 and a deeper plunge into its depths.